Hello, and welcome back to English for You. I'm Seb.
And I'm Mike.
And he's Mike.
I am.
So, Mike, what were we talking about yesterday?
Yesterday we met a very interesting man named Chen Jinlong, I believe, who passed away sadly earlier, in 2019. In July of 2019, sadly he passed away, or he died. But he was very well known in the Taidong area.
Right.
Not as a politician or a great business leader
but
or
as
a celebrity.
Father figure.
As a father figure, and
right.
as a charity owner, charity founder.
Yes, because he made big differences in his community.
Yeah.
He was helping children who did not have somewhere to go after school.
That's right.
Who might not be getting proper meals.
Yep.
So he was giving them a place to study and play and, you know, eat.
Like a lot of charities or great ideas, it started off small. He moved back there with his kids. He noticed that young people often don't have anywhere to go after school, so he let them play in the courtyard of his building. And then they had more kids, and that got more successful, so they had to find another place.
They needed a venue.
Kind of grew and grew from there, and then he set up this charity called Kids Book Houses.
Right.
Which we learned a little bit about yesterday. But not
a little
lot.
bit yesterday.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be looking more at the group itself and what they do now. So let's get started.
Reading.
Remembering Chen Junlong and Kids Book House. Today, there are 9 kids' book houses located across Taidong County. At each of these, hard-working volunteers and teachers provide care and classes for any child that needs them. Music is one of the most popular activities. For Chen, it was an effective way of helping the children. It helped them release stress and become more confident. The book houses have been so successful that some children have even returned as adults to teach there themselves. More recently, Chen looked for ways to support older children as they prepared to leave the organization. With the help of donations, he opened the Black Kid Cafe. It's a coffee house that employs and trains older children. In spite of their success, though, Chen hoped his book houses would one day not be needed anymore. It's just like a doctor with a patient, he said earlier this year. Once the patient is better, the doctor can go away. For now, kids' book houses are still an important part of Taidong. Thanks to their selfless founder, they've given countless children the chance in life that they deserve.
Okay, so we're back with our article about Chen Jinlong. Let's find out more about his charity called Kids Book Houses. This is the one he set up a few years after wanting to start to help people, but it's also a very successful charity that is still going strong today, even though, sadly, Mr. Chen passed away not long ago. But let's find out about it today. It says, today there are 9 kids' book houses located across Taidong County. Well, that is fantastic.
It is fantastic.
He started off letting kids play in the courtyard of his building, and now there are 9 of his charities all across the Taidong County region. Pretty good. Okay, so that sentence, we just saw it there. It says, now there are 9 kids' book houses located in Taidong County. So let's look at this this sentence and how the grammar kind of breaks down a little bit. We had there, now there are, right? So that are would be the be verb, there plus be verb, and it said, now there are 9 kids' book houses. So that takes the place of the noun. So we have the there plus the be verb plus the noun plus the verb ing or a past participle verb. Now there are 9 kids' book houses located. So in that sentence we're looking at, we use this word located in the past participle to show the passive voice. The book houses are located there, or now there are 9 book houses located in Taidong County. Now we could also use there plus the beaver plus the noun plus the verb ing to show the active voice. All right, so a sentence like that would be something like, there are a lot of students at the library studying for the final exam. There are 9 kids' book houses located in Taidong County. That's how our sentence would sound in that way. All right, let's now get back to the article and learn more about this fantastic charity.
Okay, so we're back into the article, learning more about this fantastic charity. And our next line is, at each of these hardworking volunteers and teachers provide care and classes for any child that needs them.
Fantastic.
Okay, so anyone who needs it can go to Kids Book House and get the support they need from teachers and volunteers. Now, a volunteer is someone who offers to do work for free. Often, volunteers help out at big events like music festivals and the Olympics. However, they also do a lot of work for charities. That's 慈善机构. Largely because many charities do not have a lot of money to pay their workers. Because they're not trying to make money. They're trying to help people.
Or any money that they get, they don't want to pay to people to do work. They want to use it to do the good things, to buy the books for the kids, or whatever they're trying to improve. Okay, so all these people, they are volunteers. We could also use volunteer as a verb. If you volunteer, that means you are willingly giving up your time, you're willingly working, but for no money, because you want to help. Now let's look at what these kids can do and what the volunteers are providing. It says music is one of the most popular activities. So yeah, kids will learn all sorts of good stuff about music, and I think music is wonderful, and it can be very good for kids and help them learn lots of other things too.
It is, and I think you share Chen's opinion, because the article says for Chen it was an effective way of helping the children. So actually Chen used to teach them by playing the guitar to them, and he would teach guitar lessons to teach them lessons.
Wow,
so and some of them went on to actually be musicians later in life. So very, very effective. Okay, so a quick bit of grammar here. We say that music was an effective way of helping children for Chen instead of is an effective way. So I said was an effective way instead of is an effective way because Chen unfortunately passed away. We put words in past tense when we're talking about the thoughts and opinions of someone who has died, who is no longer with us.
There you go. So music is still an effective way, but we're talking about how he used it, and since that's in the past, we use the past tense. But
even though we're using the past tense, effective is still very true about his teaching method. Now, effective is an adjective, and when something is effective, it is very useful and good at achieving its purpose. Music was effective for Chen because he found it was very good for teaching children and entertaining them, you know, making them have fun. We could also say that watching TV and movies in English is an effective way of learning the language.
There you go.
So a similar word to effective that we can use is efficient, which is a little bit different. And when something is efficient, it does its job quickly and without wasting time, without wasting money or resources. An efficient car, for example, can go very, very far on a single tank of gas. Now let's take a look at one example sentence. Eating ice cream every day is not an effective way to lose weight. No, not even if it's the only thing you're eating, I think. Lots and lots of fat.
That's not going to be very effective. It's not going to be practical. It's not going to do the job you want it to do. Music, though, might not help you lose weight, but it can help you to learn things.
It can.
Let's get back to that topic. It helped them, learning about music and learning music, it says it helped them release stress and become more confident, which are two things that everyone needs, especially kids. Yeah, we have all sorts of stress around us. Stress are like tension, pressure, you know, the troubles in your life that kind of cause you to worry, cause you to have trouble sleeping, might affect your mood. If you can release your stress, that means you're letting it go, because that's what the verb to release means. You can release something in a very real way, like if you open the cage, you are releasing releasing the animal that is inside the cage.
Be free.
Be free, exactly. A prisoner might be released from jail after they spend a few years there. But we can also use it to talk about releasing things that you can't see or touch, like a bird or a person. You can release your tension, you can release your anger by talking about what's making you angry. And then later on, you feel better. Later on, if you're really stressed and you go get a massage or have a nap or go and sit by the beach, you will release your stress. It'll kind of go away. It's like you're letting it be free. All right, so it depends what we're talking about, but it basically means letting go of something.
Right.
For example, when Mabel needs to release some tension, she goes to have a massage.
And so do I. That's my
Okay.
favorite way of releasing some tension.
A lot of people use that as a way to release tension.
Right. So let's get back to the book houses. And the article says that the book houses have been so successful that some children have even returned as adults to teach there themselves.
Bravo.
This is what I was speaking about earlier. Some of the people who learned how to play guitar, for example, came back and then started teaching guitar to the kids. So we have a circle of help going there.
There you go. And that's great because the kids can sort of learn that this works. You know,
It does.
You can come through here and look at this guy. He was like me, and 10, 15 years later, this guy, this lady, they're very successful. Their
It's
life
inspiring.
is good.
It's
There
encouraging.
you go. That's excellent. And it says, more recently, Chen looked for ways to support older children as they prepared to leave the organization. All right. So yeah, young kids will find a safe place there, but once they hit the age of 18 or 21, once they leave school or go off to study or work, they might kind of feel like they've been kicked out into the cruel world all alone.
Right.
But they're trying to give them support after so that they can become not just successful young people, but successful young adults as well. Now, if you look for something, that basically means you're searching for something. You might look for something like your keys. I'm looking for my keys. Did you see them? I can't remember where I put them. You might also be looking for something you can't really find or touch or hold. You're looking for happiness. You're looking for love.
Or support.
You're looking for support as well. Absolutely. If you need help and you don't have someone right there, you'll want to go looking for support.
Support, and that is our next word. Okay, so we said looking for support. Now, we just use support as a noun, but in the article, it is a verb. We can use support as both a noun and a verb. Now, when we support someone, that's the verb, we think they are good and we do what we can to help them achieve their goal. Your parents support you by giving you somewhere to live and finding a school for you to go to. However, they can also support you by listening to your problems and helping you when you don't know what to do in a certain situation. All of that is support, and in that time I was using it as a noun. So let's look at some similar words to support now. We can also talk about encouraging someone, and when we encourage someone, we make them eager or excited to do something. So, for example, Jim's friends encouraged him to study abroad. Jim might not have been sure about whether he wanted to study abroad, but his friends said, come on, you're really good at languages, you might do very well if you go and study abroad. So he went to study abroad thanks to his friends' encouragement. Now let's take a look at an example sentence. We went to the baseball game to support the local team. We went to the baseball game to support the local team. Right, so in that one, we're cheering for the team, we're hoping they do well, so we are supporting them there as well. So next we read, with the help of donations, he opened the Black Kid Cafe. Now, a donation is some money you give to a person or an organization as a gift, basically. People often give donations to charities to help them take care of people or to do important research. So, for example, one of the big charities in the UK is called Cancer Research. So people give them donations so they can look at ways of maybe curing cancer one day. So that is a donation. Now, many people donate money, but you can also donate old clothes as well to shops, for example. If you have any old clothes, a good thing to do with them is donate them so someone else can use them.
Okay, so you're giving it up because you don't need it, but you're also hoping that someone who needs it more will benefit from it. So it's a good situation for everyone. All right, so let's find out more about the Black Kid Cafe. It says it's a coffee house that employs and trains older children. So this is one of these programs that the kids can move into as they get older. In this case, they're old enough to have a job or they're old enough to be employed. Now, to employ, this verb basically means to give a job or to give work to someone. All right, a boss employs the workers. The company employs the workers too. If you hire someone to help you, you're employing that person. Now, we use it for most jobs. You wouldn't really say, I'm employing this taxi driver to take me downtown. That's kind of a very short-term job, so you might not use that. But if it's kind of a regular job, a full-time job, or a job that goes on for long enough to be sort of considered permanent in some way, you can use that, all right? So a lot of people are employed by the government. A lot of people might be employed in the computer business down in Shinju.
Or self-employed.
Or self-employed, you have your own job. You give yourself your own job. You set up your own little business. Well done. For example, this bakery helps the community and employs people who used to be in jail. Very cool. So they give jobs to people who are coming out of jail.
So the article says, in spite of their success, though, Chen hoped that his book houses will one day not be needed anymore. Would one day not be needed anymore. So we saw the phrase in spite of, and that's a phrase we use to mean even though A happened, we still did B. For example, in spite of the rain, we went for a walk. The weather was bad yesterday, but we thought it would be good to go outside, you know, get some exercise, go on a nice walk. So we went outside anyway, and we went for a walk, even though it was raining.
Yeah, you might expect them to stay home. So we're sort of showing you there's a bit of a surprise here. This thing happened, but it didn't stop that other thing from happening. And let's look at this other word, success. What is success? Well, the word is a noun. What is the meaning? Basically, it means reaching a goal, okay? Reaching an objective. If you set out something to do, I'm going to do this, and then you work hard at it and you do that thing, now you have success. We also are very familiar, I'm sure, with the adjective successful. A successful person has had a lot of success. They've set themselves a lot of goals, and through hard work and other things, they've reached those goals. Congratulations. For example, Bill Gates. Bill Gates has had great success in the computer industry. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, me neither.
Never heard of him. Never heard of him. Yes, of
Jeff
course,
Bezos,
he's had a lot of success. He started, what was that, Microsoft.
Microsoft, yeah.
That's success, sure.
I'm an Apple person.
Okay.
So our next line in the article is, it's just like a doctor with a patient, he said earlier this year. So I wonder why it might be like a doctor with a patient. Well, first, we need to know what patient means.
True.
So let's take a look at that word now. Okay, so we saw the word patient, and a patient is someone who is sick and being looked after by a doctor. Patients can be people who just go to see the doctor because they have a cold, or they could be someone who is very, very sick and has to stay in hospital for a long time. When a patient has to stay at the hospital, we say that we admit the patient into the hospital. That's 接待病人. Now, while the patient is staying at the hospital, the doctors treat the patient, and we say they're better. And when they're better, we say that the patient was released, that's the word that we saw earlier, or we could say that the patient was discharged. Now, our example sentence for patient is, the patient waited in line to get an X-ray. So why is it like a doctor with a patient? Well, Chen said, once the patient is better, the doctor can go away. Right, you don't need the doctor if you're not sick.
That's a very good point. Or a lot of doctors might be happy if they had no patients.
Right.
Because it means everyone's healthy. So that would be a good thing. But that's not exactly the way it is now. So as we read on, it says, for now, kids' book houses are still an important part of Taidong. Yes, it would be great if there were no homeless kids or poor kids or kids who need help. But for now, there are still kids who need help. We said for now because we're kind of showing you that that's the situation today. That's the way it is now, but there's a hope, there's even an expectation. We're thinking it will change, but we can't tell you when. All right? We can't say next week things will change. We're just saying what it is like now, but by saying for now, we're giving you the idea that, you know, pay attention because this whole thing could change in the future. Yeah.
Someday.
Someday, we don't know when.
Yes, we don't know when. So, thanks to their selfless founder, they've given countless children the chance in life that they deserve. Okay, so thanks to selfless there, it means to not really think about yourself at all. You're only thinking about other people.
Yep.
So we're saying that Chen only thought about other people. Now, thanks to was another phrase that we're going to look at there. And we use thanks to in front of something when we want to say that a good thing happened because of it. So thanks to Jim's help, Helen passed the exam. Or Helen was able to pass the exam because of the help she got from Jim.
Okay.
Okay, so we can also use this structure in the opposite way as well by adding no, so no thanks to. So if I say Helen passed the exam, no thanks to Jim, we kind of get the idea that maybe Jim refused to help Helen, or maybe he was even trying to get her to fail.
Right.
So we're saying not because of Jim, even despite Jim not helping, Helen was able to pass the exam.
There you go. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that Jim was trying to hurt her, but he wasn't doing things to help her. So, for
And Helen's
example,
probably annoyed.
Right. Helen might have been studying and Jim's playing loud video games and that's distracting her, but she still passed that exam, but Jim was no help.
He was no
Basically,
help.
he was almost trouble for her.
Exactly. So we also saw the word founder, and we've said this a few times, but just to recap, a founder is someone who starts a group or organization. So we're talking about Chen there.
There you go. And to deserve something is basically mean you've worked hard, so you should get this thing. All right? You know, if someone says, if you do this job, I'll give you money at the end. I'll give you a prize or something like that. And you do the job, you follow all the rules, you do everything they ask you to do, then at the end, yes, you should get that money. You should get that prize because that's what they said. That was the deal, okay? So if you deserve something, you feel you've done your bit. Now you're expecting to get something in return, and you expect to get it because, you know, you kept your word.
Exactly. Okay, well, that's all the time we have to learn about Kids Book House, unfortunately, but we still have time for a quick For You Chat question, so let's go and check that out now.
For You Chat.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of a thinking question now. I'm not talking about our experiences, we're thinking of something new. So what kind of center or organization do you think would help your local community? Why? So we need to think about what problems our community has and how we can make them better.
Interesting.
Do you have any ideas, Mike?
Well, I think what my community needs is more green spaces, bigger and better parks. So I'm not quite sure what center or organization might help with that. Really, that would be kind of the city government.
Right.
But to get more people aware of that might help us to get the city government to pay attention. I live in a nice little neighborhood, but you know, I sometimes feel like it's hard to see some trees. So that would be kind of nice. What about you?
I think that, especially in Taipei, there's a lot of foreign people working here, and not all of them speak Chinese. So I think maybe some kind of center which offered support for foreigners.
Right.
Maybe, you know, things like therapists or maybe marriage counselors. Maybe if you have problems in your marriage and you're living in Taipei, you don't have someone to talk to,
There you go.
then it would be very good to have a center that could help you with your home life, could help you with your own personal problems. So that's the kind of organization I think I would start in
That's a good
Taipei.
idea. I mean, people can take Chinese classes, of course,
Yes.
but if you're trying to do things at the bank or you need to do things with the government, sometimes your basic Chinese won't help, and reading and writing, that's a good idea.
It takes more than ni hao.
It does take more than ni hao ma and shabao la ma.
Exactly. You're not going to open a bank account that way.
Nah, not too much.
No. Okay, well, that's unfortunately all the time we've got for today's article. But don't forget to go online, check out Kids Book House. You can find out lots more information in English and Chinese there. But for English for You, I'm Seb.
And I'm Mike.
And we'll catch you next time.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Remembering Chen Junlong and Kids Book House. Today, there are 9 kids' book houses located across Taidong County. At each of these, hard-working volunteers and teachers provide care and classes for any child that needs them. Music is one of the most popular activities. For Chen, it was an effective way of helping the children. It helped them release stress and become more confident. The book houses have been so successful that some children have even returned as adults to teach there themselves. More recently, Chen looked for ways to support older children as they prepared to leave the organization. With the help of donations, he opened the Black Kid Cafe. It's a coffee house that employs and trains older children. In spite of their success, though, Chen hoped his book houses would one day not be needed anymore. It's just like a doctor with a patient, he said earlier this year. Once the patient is better, the doctor can go away. For now, kids' book houses are still an important part of Taidong. Thanks to their selfless founder, they've given countless children the chance in life that they deserve.
Vocabulary Review.
Effective. Drinking lots of water and getting rest is an effective way of fighting a cold. Release. Alex released his anger by shouting and punching the wall. Support. Ivan's parents supported him in his decision to study overseas. Employee. This company employs over 300 people. All of them work at its office in Taipei. Success. Fiona's success in the soccer game led her coach to make her the team captain. Patient. As a doctor, Theo treats hundreds of patients every day.
智慧小补帖
Volunteer. Donation. Founder. Deserve.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是www.english4u.net www.english4u.net